My brothers and my sisters, welcome back. This is the introduction to the HeartMind Mastery Framework series, and this is video number 2 of the 3-part series. Okay, cool. So the first one we went through maturity and masculinity, how important this concept is in terms of your self validation and your self-worth and your self-concept as a man. And for the woman, it does apply to femininity. It's all about maturity, right? So maturity can be applied to masculine or feminine. Okay, now today's lesson is all about the nervous system, how to regulate your nervous system, and how that relates to trauma, emotional trauma within the body, and the mind and the emotional body, and how we can release that to activate more holistic well-being in your life. And we're going to explore some cool techniques that actually help us to release tension, regulate our nervous system, and release trauma. Okay. Then in part 3, which is the next video, we're going to go through the self-concept. Let's get into the nervous system. What is the nervous system? So according to Google, the autonomic nervous system is a component of the peripheral nervous system, which regulates involuntary physiological processes such as heart rate, respiration, blood pressure, digestion, and sexual arousal, right? So it's a lot. It's doing a lot of things within your body. It's super important. Not only that, it also regulates your immune response. It's very, very connected to how your body creates immunity and actually fights off diseases and stuff like that, right? So it's affecting everything. It's affecting your thoughts, your emotions, and your physical health. This is how important your nervous system is. For me, this is the number one skill in terms of personal development. So benefits, it fosters emotional resilience, okay, reduces stress and enhances overall well-being, okay. And the practices that we use to activate nervous system regulation is mindfulness, right? So it's all about focus, right? So it's about where you place your attention, because your nervous system is always reacting to wherever your attention is going, okay. It's very sensory as well. So we're constantly reacting to our environment. All right. Now, just a quick breakdown of how this works. The practices. So your nervous system has two main states. We've got the parasympathetic state and the sympathetic state, right? Let's break that down into normal terms. The parasympathetic state is rest and relaxation. So when you feel comfortable, you feel relaxed, you are resting and you're digesting, right? So you'll be digesting your food. That's why when you digest your food, you get tired, right? The other state is fight or flight. That's the sympathetic branch of the nervous system. When we are taking action, your body pumps adrenaline, your heart beats faster, you breathe faster, etc., etc. These are it's an action-taking state, right? Fight or flight. Okay, so a lot of stress is involved in fight or flight, and obviously relaxation and calmness is involved in rest and relaxation. So because of this, we want to be able to move from one state to the other state at will. So we want to be able to move from fight and flight into rest and relaxation at will, like that. And you want to be able to move from rest and relaxation into fight or flight, taking action, but in a calm manner without feeling a whole bunch of fear, right? We want to be able to take action and actually act from a space of flow. That's where the two branches meet, is a state of flow. So it's action, but you're relaxed while you are taking action. Okay, so that is the center state, and that it does take some amount of time and practice and consistency to develop it, but it's the most powerful state that you can actually access, right? So how do we do this? We allow our mind to focus on one thing, and this is what mindfulness meditation is, and it has to do with our senses, and usually we focus on one sense at a time or one object, and we notice different sensory information about what is currently happening. So it brings us into the present moment, and it's very much about your body. So you want to be very connected to your body, and this helps us to regulate our nervous system, right? Another thing which is phenomenal for regulating the nervous system is deep breathing, right? Just taking full deep breaths, right? Let's do that now as an exercise, right? Take a deep breath in through the nose and out. In and out. Let's do 3 more like that. In and out. In and out. Last one. Here's a bonus. Take another deep breath and we're going to hold it for 5 seconds. Deep breath in. Hold. And slowly release. And come back to yourself. Come back to some normal, deeper breaths, right? So you may have noticed a shift just from those 5 or 6 breaths that we did. It is absolutely incredible what breathwork can do. And there's so many different ways of breathing that what we just did now is just one type of breathing, right? There's so many different ways that you can use to access different states of mind and calm yourself down and remain calm in a stressful environment, right? Another thing that is very good is grounding. So taking your shoes off and actually standing on the ground in some grass, in nature. What this does is it decreases your electric charge, and your nervous system is very much electrical. So the electric charge in your body actually goes into the ground. That's just like static electricity. If you've been walking around in the shop with rubber shoes on and pushing a trolley, you get the static electricity where you touch somebody else or you touch something metal and you get shocked, right? We are very electrical. Now, if you take your shoes off and go stand on the ground, it dumps out that excess electricity, right? The voltage, and what happens is your nervous system is able to relax better because there's no excess electricity in the body. So we've spoken a bit about regulating, but some of the importance of regulating the nervous system is for your mental health. It helps you manage anxiety, manage depression, right? Anxiety is often you being stuck in fight or flight, and depression is like you get like almost like frozen, like your energy just gets drained away, and you feel anxious, but at the same time you just want to sleep all the time, right? So these are dysregulated states of being, and when we regulate ourselves, we will have enough energy and we'll be able to relax when we need to, right? So it promotes mental clarity and emotional balance, basically. Physical well-being, it does improve immune function, it does improve cardiovascular health, reduces the risk of chronic conditions caused by stress. 90% of diseases today are caused by stress. Social interaction, it 100% helps communication, empathy, and your relationships, right? So you'll be able to connect with people better. And in business, connecting with people better and having more confidence, empathy, having better relationships equals more success. I don't know if you've realized this, but business is all about relationships. So, having a regulated nervous system actually makes you into a better leader, right? We already did the breathing. So there's, lots of different ways of regulating your nervous system. That was just one of them. Through our HeartMind Mastery group course, we'll be going through all of these beautiful techniques, and you'll learn how to master them. You'll learn how to play with them and use them at the right times. Right, so moving on to trauma. What is trauma? Trauma is when the body is deeply distressed due to a disturbing experience. Right, so this could be a memory of an experience that was traumatic for you. It could have been abuse. It could have been a car crash. It could have been conflict, if it was like fighting or something like that, or it could have just been like criticism from our parents, like repeatedly. It could be something from school. A lot of the times from childhood experiences, right? So this triggers the nervous system into a fight or flight response, leading to hyperarousal or disassociation, right? So that means we become highly fearful of certain aspects of life depending on what the trauma was, and therefore we will either avoid situations like that or be hypersensitive to it, and anything could trigger a feeling of this trauma coming back, and then we will associate that the feeling or the trigger with the current situation, but the current situation is just the trigger that is triggering the trauma from the past. So therefore you're unable to really be present and calm in normal situations. You are always reacting to the trauma of the past, and this we will see 100% in your romantic relationships, in your family relationships, etc. The long-term impact of this chronic trauma can actually alter your brain structure and lead to anxiety and other mental health disorders. Yeah, it's serious. So very, very important to take care of this specific topic. So impacts of the trauma on your body and mind. Psychological, creates emotional dysregulation, flashbacks, and difficulty trusting others. So your relationships are going to struggle. while you're holding on to this trauma, right? Physical effects: insomnia, chronic pain, prolonged stress responses. So when you're unable to actually de-stress or relax after maybe work or after anything that was very stimulating, right? Social implications: strained relationships, isolation, and difficulty in forming attachments, so healthy attachments. And generally, you're going to pick up a lot of issues in relationships, maybe unhealthy boundaries, inability to express yourself in a way that comes across in a loving way. Maybe just certain things trigger a anger within you, or a sadness within you, or feeling not worthy, or feeling not enough to be loved. Very, very prevalent in our society today. And this is something that we really do have to address. Right, so techniques for healing the nervous system after trauma. There's so many of these, but you need to play around with many different types and see what works for you, right? So deep breathing is highly, highly effective. It's what I use the most, as well as meditation, right? So I combine the two, deep breathing and meditation, or mindfulness techniques, where we focus the mind on certain areas in the body or certain senses, or we are visualizing certain the memories and activating the senses in a way that helps us release the trauma and release the emotional pain that is connected to the event that happened in the past, right? Muscle relaxation, so you could just do body scans. There's tapping, which is amazing. There's TRE, which is allowing the body to tremor and shake, because that's a natural response to having trauma. So if we should allow ourselves to release that through movement, through tremoring. Yoga is amazing, and as we spoke about, visualization, which would be guided imagery. So I'll actually take you through, within our program, I'll take you through a guided imagery journey where we will actually heal past traumatic memories. Right, so in summary, this topic is so important for your self-reflection, and self-reflection is important for this subject. So I urge you to think about this now. Think about how it affects your life. How is your nervous system regulation, your ability to deal with stress, and also your traumas from the past that are holding you back. It could be holding you back from success. You may even have trauma around money, by the way. It's very, very common to have trauma around money, not feeling that you are worthy of receiving a lot of money, or being wealthy, or being abundant, in terms of your resources. You need to do the self-reflection. That's going to help you to see what you need to focus on and where the healing needs to actually go for you, and how you're going to use the techniques that we will provide you. And we will help you develop new techniques for yourself, and the combinations of these techniques that suit you and your lifestyle and your personality, how you want to use that and what it's going to do for you in the future, right? So nervous system regulation and trauma healing are essential components to what we are bringing to our clients, and it's designed to help them create emotional resilience and a high level of well-being, health, wealth, and happiness, right? It is highly connected to everything that we do in life. Like it seems like a, soft, touchy-feely, emotional subject, but it's so critical in the physical reality. It's in your relationships. It's in the way that you see yourself and the way that you present yourself to the world, right? So the trauma and the nervous system regulation, it is vital in terms of how you actually going to show up in life. Your nervous system regulation involves understanding and managing your body's stress responses, right? So moving through challenges, because we all have challenges. You need to be able to move through challenges with grace and ease and balance, and that is what nervous system regulation will also help with, right? So using these specialized techniques that we go through in our program, leaders can actually learn to regulate and promote a sense of calm and clarity in stressful situations. Trauma healing as well has a structured approach to identifying and addressing past traumas, allowing individuals to release emotional pain and cultivate inner healing, right? So that's what we want for you. And by acknowledging and processing past experiences, you can actually embark on a journey of self-healing, renewal, freeing yourself from the burdens of emotional wounds, right? This emotional baggage that so many of us carry around with us, right? So we create these personalized healing plans, and with techniques and almost like a step-by-step journey for you, where you can, this will promote your well-being, resilience, and feeling of empowerment and emotional freedom. So that's it for this presentation. I wanted to keep it under 20 minutes. Please stay tuned for part 3, which we're going to probably the most important subject of all, which is the self-concept, the vehicle that you move through life with. And I'm wishing you all the best, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.